Hello and welcome to this 5-minute teaching on the supernatural love of God. I'm Pastor Jack Shoup with Grace Fellowship of Georgetown, Kentucky. We've been talking about the agape of God, the supernatural love nature of God, and it becomes your nature once you're born again. We've been talking about if you want to walk in love according to 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 5, it says, "Now the end of the commandment is love out of a pure heart, a good conscience, and genuine faith, faith unfeigned." That if you want to walk in supernatural love, you got to walk in faith. And faith is intentional. I want to go to a verse in Mark that's for people that have learned faith know very well. It says in Mark chapter 11, verse 22, "Now have faith in God," or have the God kind of faith, have faith like God. We're to learn how to function in faith just like God does. Amen. God said in the beginning, "Let there be," and there was. He said, "Let there be light," and it was. God said, God saw over and over again in creation. And he says we're to function in the same type of faith, that we believe the words we speak have power. They enable us through the authority given to us by Jesus to tap into the third heaven and bring into the first heaven where we live in this universal realm we live in, this natural realm, to bring supernatural results. Amen. Now I know a lot of people attack the concept of living by faith or functioning in faith or the power of words. But the truth is, it's scriptural. In fact, Jesus said in Mark chapter 11, again, verse 23, "For verily I say unto you, that whosoever," listen, I don't know who you are, but you're a whosoever. "Whosoever shall say to this mountain, Be thou removed, be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe those things that he saith shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he saith." So Jesus said there's power in our words. You're a whosoever. And if you can believe, not just what God said, but you believe that you can say the same things, you can have faith like God, you can have what you say. And the third ingredient in our recipe for agape out of 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 5, the third ingredient is genuine faith, which means you believe what you say will come to pass. And if you want to walk in supernatural love, you believe if you say it, you'll have it. But it takes time getting the word in you to change how you think. You come to the place you believe faith is a genuine principle of the kingdom of heaven, and then you start to work your faith in that direction. So many people try to function in faith by their own effort, and it won't produce supernatural results. Your natural efforts won't produce supernatural healing. Your natural efforts won't produce supernatural prosperity, and they won't produce supernatural love. You've got to intentionally target love, speak it into your life, and then act on it to see it manifested around you, right? So the rest of that passage in Mark chapter 11, verse 24, it says, "Therefore I say unto you, what things soever you desire." Me, since I learned about it for over 30 years, I've desired to walk in supernatural agape. It's the number one desire of my heart is to walk in God's love, His glory, in order to fully honor Him. So I desire that. He says, if you desire it, when you pray, believe that you receive them and you'll have them. You got to believe God's supernatural love is available to you. Then you target it by faith, you speak it forth, and you stand until you see it come into manifestation. And God's called us to that area. He's called us to be those that fully reflect His goodness. You know, in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, we have what we call our love passage. And in verse 4, it starts off going, "Love is patient, love is kind, love does not boast." And if you look at that, we a lot of times focus on the direct objects. Love is patient, kind, doesn't boast. But a key word in those phrases is. It does not say love tries to be patient, love tries to be kind, love tries not to be boast. Listen, there's a supernatural love available that when it comes on you, when you function on it, you can't help but be patient. You can't help but not boast. You can't help but be kind. You can't help but love your neighbor. In fact, it's so powerful, you'll love even your enemies. God's called us to this realm, but we target it intentionally by faith. Be blessed.